Guess that's what they call the blues. Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of, well, the weekly catch-up. The weekly catch-up and talking about results and fixtures alike in the West Midlands Regional Leagues Division 1, 2 and the Prem of course. So, first and foremost, it's Friday, everybody. We've made it through another week. Well done to all of you. Just a quick one really. I really apologise. I didn't really go to the game on Tuesday night. I was stuck at work. It was a messy one at work. So we had to stay behind and get a lot done. Hi Philip, hope you're doing well mate. Good to have you on. Now as always guys, before we start this video, please remember to subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button, smash it, smash the absolute shit out of it. It's Friday night, we're all here having some fun. I got myself a hot chocolate. That's how badass I am. So, good midweek, a couple of games I got here, a couple of shocks as well. Let's fire into them. First and foremost, how many times have I said first and foremost? I don't know why I keep saying that. How are you guys? I hope you're having a fantastic Friday evening. We got a bit of a shock midweek on our hands. Now, after all that good work that AFC Bridgnorth had done prior to the game on Tuesday, on Saturday, where they got their first win of the season, they had a bit of a day to forget about against Wemtown. Now Wemtown, I was really happy for Wemtown. I mean, 8 games in, really needing that win, and they got it. They got a great win away at Bridgnorth. We're actually 3-0 up. Before I've got goals here from Levi Hunter and Nicholas Porter. Nicholas Porter getting a couple. Before a late rally from Bridgnorth saw the game finish 3-2. Now that actually moves Wemtown off the bottom of the table. Now I know that they've played 2 more games than Smethwick Rangers, but for a mentality, that's got to be something that is definitely going to push them on. So that's good to see. Next up, we had the game between Bewdley Town and Worcester Raiders. Now, Worcester Raiders are flying. Played 7 after this game, 1-6, drawn 1. They're flying. They've got 19 points. They're top of the table, and quite rightly so. They're having a great season. They were actually 3-0 down, if I've got this right, against Bewdley Town. So Bewdley Town 3-0 up, seemingly coasting, where they just absolutely come back and hit them. We had, goals-wise, we had Luke Molly, and it was a hat-trick from the substitute, Mr. Belmont, which was brilliant. I mean, I tell you what, if you're the manager of Worcester Rangers, you're going to feel like you can beat anyone at the moment. They really are absolutely lighting the division up. So it's good to see Bewdley Town second loss in the bounce for them after such a strong season last season. They've not hit the heights of what they wanted to hit last season, but you've got to think a lot of that has got to do with the call-offs they've had, and you know what? For teams like Bewdley, I really feel for them because they were up last season. They were up as as we all know. Looking at the table there, they were as good as up, and so it's a bit of a struggle for them this season. But look, the management team now, I'm sure, have got a plan in place and know what to do to turn this around. So we move on to the next game, which we had here. Dudley Sports against Shifnal Town. Now, Dudley Sports actually sprung a surprise in this game and took the lead before, in fact, it was, yeah, I looked at my phone before I carried on and I was like, oh my good God, Shifnal are losing again. Before Shifnal losing again. Well, they did lose against Littleton. That sounds a bit rude, but I looked, I thought, not again, not 2 in a row, but Tom Hill had other ideas and bagged a hat-trick and got them the 3-1 win to put them up to second in the table, which is where they're going to be pushing that at that end of the table for the rest of the season. They'll be pushing Worcester Raiders extremely hard. I think their game isn't until the 19th of December, where I think Shifnal are at home against them. I mean, obviously, bar any cancellations with COVID there. But all in all, Shifnal, great result, great way to come back from losing on the Saturday against Littleton. So really strong result there. And then the other game to happen was in the West Midlands Regional League Division 1, where Wellington Amateurs were away at Old Wolfrunians. I think I've got it right. And Old Wolfrunians, after getting absolutely smashed 6-1 by Ulscott, I always say Ulscott, hit back with the best remedy, and that's getting the win and scoring some goals, and they did. They scored 5 goals to put Welly Amateurs to bed. you know, the Wellington Amateurs boss, come on Twitter afterwards and said, you know, he's really extremely disappointed, but we get together, we stick together, and I think that's exactly the line you have to take as a manager. You've got to be willing to stick together, and you've got to push the lads on. So, look, I've been to watch the Ammies a few times. They're my hometown club. Respect. I'm sure they'll be absolutely fine. I'm sure they'll turn it round. Do you know what? If I carry on like I'm saying, I don't think any team will get relegated, because I always say they're going to be fine, but I don't want to be Mr. Doomsday just yet, not this early into the season. If you're watching, please remember to smash a like on the video below. I want to get those likes up as much as I can tonight. And also, yeah, thanks for joining me. I've got 5 of you watching now. That's, again, to some people who watch videos where thousands and thousands watch, that may not seem or look like a lot, but to me, that's 5 very good viewers, so thank you for sticking by. So, this weekend, there's not as many games on due to the FA Vars. So, with regards to the fixtures, I'm going to go through them with you here, and I want you to just let me know in the comments below what you think about my predictions. If you think they're a bit off target, or if you think, yeah, he's spot on. I had a good week the week before, 10 out of 16, so I can't be too far off. So, in the league this weekend, we have Dudley Town playing Wolves Sporting. Now this, wow, this is a game that Dudley Town have been absolutely waiting for. They're chomping at the bit, and quite rightly so. I felt for a midweek they were 4 hours from playing against Shawbury, when Shawbury sadly had to cancel a game due to a COVID scare / outbreak. So yeah, I mean, I felt for the lads, and do you know what? I get a lot of stick for giving Dudley props, but 4 hours before the game, and this isn't anything on Shawbury United. You know, I like Shawbury United, but to get the lads prepared and then tell them 4 hours before, actually, lads, there's no game tonight. It's got to be a hammer blow, a massive hammer blow. Also, the other bits and pieces, like, you know, the programmes, the food, everything that goes into that game, it must be deflating. But, bar any bloody COVID, they're playing tomorrow. They're playing it's only their 3rd game in the season. Some teams have played bloody 8. I mean, you know, Dudley are 9th, as are OJM Black Country Rangers. Both teams raring to just get a bloody game going. So, yeah, Dudley Town at home to Wolves Sporting Community. They're next to each other in the table. I'm going to go with a Dudley Town win. I think the lads are going to be absolutely raring for it. I've said raring 74 times now, but they will be. And I know they've got the coaching staff there to keep them all grounded and know the jobs that they've got to do to perform on that field. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 win for Dudley Town. Again, if you think I'm wrong, put in the comment below. If you think I'm fanboying about Dudley, put it in the comments below. Next game we've got is Littleton at home to Smethwick Rangers. Now, Smethwick Rangers have missed a couple of games because of COVID. So, again, I'm sure they will be absolutely chomping at the bit, wanting to get their season underway. Haven't won a game this season, played 6, lost 6. Sorry, just have this hot chocolate. Oh, that's something else, that is. Played 6, lost 6. Not a very good goal difference, but, I mean, a couple of weeks away, you don't know what the coaching staff have been up to. I mean, it's perfect time to get your ideas across to the lads, implement any changes that you're looking at. But they're playing away to Littleton, who, look, Littleton will be absolutely bouncing after the win against Shifnal at the weekend. So this is going to be a tough one for Smethwick. Excuse me, I've got a real bad throat today. The only thing, not COVID, the only thing I will say, Littleton had a great win against Shawbury, then lost, and then had a fantastic win against Shifnal. So I'm hoping they buck the trend for their fans more than anything. I fully expect Littleton to get the win. I think it will be 2 or 3 to the good. That's nothing against Smethwick Rangers. I just look at the form table, I look at the table, and I can't see it going any other way. But again, if you think I'm wrong, put a comment in below and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm being silly. Next up, we've got Wensfield, who are at home. Oh, no, actually, do you know what? I'm missing Shifnal. We've got Shifnal at home to the Kazzies. Hold a very special place in my heart, the Kazzies, as you all know. This will be a massive game for the Wolverhampton Casuals, because they've had some good results. They've been fighting, and they will be, I think they'll be relishing the test against Shifnal Town. I think, especially with Shifnal losing against Littleton, I think they'll be looking at this and thinking, do you know what, we can give these a good go. Shifnal are going to be set up fantastically, as always. You know, that's one thing I will say. When I went to watch them, it sounded like in the video I was bashing them a little bit, but it's only because we come to expect a win from Shifnal. That's testament to the management. That's testament to the players, and it's testament to the setup they've got there. So when they do, you know, when they're not winning a game 3 or 4, and they are struggling in a game, you look and you think, Christ Almighty, Jesus Christ, what's happening? But regardless of that, I fully expect this to be a thriller. I really do. I think this is going to be a few goals in this. I think the Kazis are going to give it their all, which they've been doing all season. Shifnal are going to be ready for it. I think this is... I'm going to go back to when Shifnal played Wednesfield. I feel like I'm recycling results here. But I'm going to go 4-2 to Shifnal. I'm going to go 4-2. I think there's going to be a lot of goals in this. Every time I've said there's going to be a lot of goals, there's never been. But tonight, I'm feeling confident. And I'll tell you for why. Because... I'm not going to lie, Wolverhampton Casuals have been scoring quite a few goals in the recent games, and Shifnal Town banging 3 in against Dudley. they're in form. I tell you, you wouldn't want to play Tom Hill. I wouldn't want to play anybody who was a striker after scoring a hat-trick, and I mean that. And look, back in the day when I was a centre-back, I was shit. Really shit, actually. Overweight, sweated profusely all the time. But if I found out that a lad that we were playing in the game previously scored a hat-trick, that was my head already gone. So it's up to the coaching to keep the heads up there. But next on we got Wednesfield against Darlaston Town. Darlaston Town, so indifferent, man. Darlaston, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say about Darlaston. They got that win against Littleton against the run of play. I'm just looking at the games, actually. They've scored 4, conceded 17. They're going to be going into this one hoping they can stop the rot, and hoping they can get a point on the board, especially with Wem winning midweek. Teams like that around there are going to be looking and I think needing to try and pull away. So looking at it, Wednesfield come back to earth with a loss against, who did they play it? In fact, that's a good point. Who did they play? Wednesfield. Wednesfield lost against Cradley Town last Saturday. I forgot about that. So Wednesfield are going to be up for this. They're going to be pumped for it. And look, as I said in the game against Sheffield, I was really impressed with what I saw with Wednesfield. They really impressed me with the tenacity, the fire there, and they were just in the faces. And I think if you play more and more games like that, you're probably going to get a lot of wins under your belt. But for me, I'm going to go 2-0 Wednesfield with this. I can't see Darlaston springing a surprise here. Again, that sounds like I'm bashing Darlaston, and I'm really not. And I'm looking forward to coming to see Darlaston play. I don't. This isn't my job to bash people. It's just my job to give an honest opinion. And you say job, it's a hobby, so it's not really a job. So there we go. Next game is, and final game in the Prem, is Wemtown at home to Pershaw. Pershaw, again, missed a few games because of the whole COVID situation, so I'm sure they're going to be excited to be playing. But look, coming off the back of a win for Wemtown, Wemtown are going to be looking at this a whole different way to the previous games they've played in. You know, your heads can really drop. They can really drop when you're losing all the time. But just that one victory, and off the back of a couple of games where I read on Twitter they were actually, you know, starting to turn a bit of a screw. I think Wem are going to be really up for this. I think Wem are going to take this to Pershaw and give them, one hell of a game. Look, I mean, I'm sure the lads at Pershaw, after missing a couple of games, are equally going to be up for this. And it's a silly thing to say when you say a team's going to be up for it. Any team's up for it. I remember when we used to play. So I'm from Shrewsbury, and Shrewsbury have got Shropshire have got the Sunday League division. I think it's the Shrewsbury division actually. We've got a team called Instones. Now, Instones, most of their lads, I think, play for Hormond. But Instones, they win everything. They're fucking great. Sorry, I swear, but they're bloody brilliant. They're really good. And I come out of retirement and played for a team called the Boar's Head. Boar's Head Athletic. And I played 3 games for them. And one of the games was against Instones, and Instones had players missing, and they absolutely just destroyed us. But I'm saying that Boar's Head are back up in the they're in the Prem now, so it might be a different game. But what I'm alluding to is, you know, you look at the table, you look at teams like Shifnal, and it must be hard for defenders to play against them when you look at the firepower they've got. People like them, like Worcester Raiders. I mean, Jesus Christ, for a defender, I'd be terrified. But it's not about me. It's about the teams in the West Midlands Regional Division. So anyway, League One. Let's go to League One and let's go to the fixtures. In fact, we'll actually do a result. I'm terribly sorry. We've done the result. We'll go for the fixtures. Sorry. God, I don't know what's wrong with me. I've only had hot chocolate. I'm all over the bloody place. Hang on. that's better. Right. So a few games in League One, Division 1 coming this weekend, Saturday. Starting off with Seek Hunters, who are at home to Wren's Nest. Now, Wren's Nest, 12th in the table. Seek Hunters are 7th. So I think Seek Hunters are going to be up for this. Seek Hunters have been looking decent the last few games. I fully expect Seek Hunters to give them one hell of a game, actually. I don't really see Seek Hunters losing this, if I'm honest. Let's just have a quick look. Seek Hunters. Wren's Nest got their first win of the season last week against FC Darlaston, so they're going to be up for it. It's the same situation as Wem Town. You get that first win under your belt, and you find yourself in a position where you're ready to rock, and you feel like, right, that monkey's off my back where we're losing and losing. Now let's kick on. So potentially it's a really bad time for Seek Hunters to be playing them, but Seek Hunters run out 5-2 winners against Willenhall at the weekend, so they've scored some goals themselves. I think both teams are going to be up for it. I still don't see Seek Hunters losing this. I see Seek Hunters perhaps getting a 2-0 victory here, so we'll have to wait and see. But I'd like to go see Seek Hunters actually. Look at that soon, I think. Next one, I think I get this name wrong all the time, so if there's anybody listening, please let me know if I'm saying this right. But Worley, I think Worley, Worley against Gornal Athletic. Now, Gornal Athletic run out 2-1 winners against Wellington Amateurs last time out. Had to substitute their goalkeeper 5 minutes before the game, I believe, but still got the victory. And they're looking strong, Gornal Athletic. They're second in the table, only on goal difference. They've played a game more than AFC Bentley, but they're going to be well up for this, I think. At the moment, looking at the back of it, they're probably feeling like again, they can beat anybody. Only lost once all season. Worley, I sound awful. 2-2 game against Droitwich Spa, which, whilst we're on the matter, Mark Owen, the Droitwich boss, left Droitwich at the weekend, and I was really sad to see that happen, actually, because when I watched him against Wellington Amateurs last season, I spoke to him just before the game. He was a really nice guy, happy to speak to people like me, and he was doing good work there, so it's going to be interesting to see where Droitwich go. Now, by looks, Droitwich are third in the table. Is it a case of perhaps he felt he could take them as far as they could go? Did he want a new challenge? I don't know, but to leave third in the table, losing only one game in the season, man, that's got to be a tough decision. But back to the Worley Riley game against Gornal Athletic. I'm gonna go. This is a tough one because Worley had a good point against Droitwich. I'm gonna go 3-2. I'm gonna go 3-2. Yeah, 3-2 to Gornal Athletic. Worley, Riley, guys, if you're watching and you feel like a bit aggrieved about that, I'm terribly sorry. Again, it's just this fatty's opinion. I'm not very good at ACCAs or anything or predicting anything normally, but that's the feeling I get with that one. Next up, we've got quite a big game, this one actually. Busselholme are at home to AFC Bentley. This is David versus Goliath. David, being AFC Bentley, played 5, won 5, scored 18, conceded 3. That's not David. David's down there. Goliath. Look at that. There's me trying to be all philosophical. And David, as I've just said, David, the little team. Not the little team, that's ridiculous. The small. I'm looking small against big. And I'm looking at that in the table. So don't try and quote me saying I think Busselholme are small. I don't think they're small at all. But what I'm alluding to is bottom of the table against top of the table. David versus Goliath. Busselholme played 3, lost 3, scored 3, conceded 13. A lot of threes in there. I feel really, really bad for saying small team about Busselholme because that is absolutely disrespectful. In fact, whilst I've got this on here, Busselholme, 31st, I'm having a tattoo done tomorrow. Busselholme, I'm going to come and see you play because I feel like I've just disrespected the hell out of there, and that's ridiculous. I'm sorry. But again, it's top against bottom, goals galore for AFC Bentley. Busselholme have struggled this season so far. I'm going to go AFC Bentley 4-0. I feel really, really bad saying that. But 4-0 after I've just disrespected the shit out of him. That's awful. I'm terribly sorry. That's not what we're about. I don't think you're a small team at all. In fact, I'm going to come and cover you and give you the recognition you deserve. So, moving on to the next game. We have Old Wolfrunians at home to Bromyard Town. Now, Bromyard Town, looking at the table, 8th in the table, and I've got here in the week they actually they beat Busselholme 7-1. So I sound really bad again now. I'm really sorry, but off the back of that, they're going to be absolutely ready for a game, give a good game, and especially with Old Wolverinians getting that 5-3 win in the midweek. I fully expect this to be a bit of a corker, this game. You've got Busselholme, sorry, not Busselholme, I've got them on the brain now. You've got Bromyard Town, who are 8th, Old Wolverinians, who are 9th. This is going to be close. This is close. This is like spot on. This is what we look for. Both on 9 points. The only difference being that we've got Old Wolverinians who are lesser on goal difference, -3. I think this is going to be a corker. I think this is going to be 3-3. I think there's going to be loads of goals in this. Bromyard Town getting that win last week did their goal difference so well. They're good. Looking at that, 7. So they'd only scored 8 before last week. That's going to be a big game, man. I'm quite gutted I'm not going to that. Old Wolverinians again buoyed after that horrible loss against Ulscott. Now looking to keep that momentum running after the win against the Wellington Amateurs. I fully expect this to be a smasher of a game. I think 3-3. I think, look, if you think I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, but 3-3 is what I'm going to go for. And then we've got Team Dudley at home to Ulscott. Now, Team Dudley are second from bottom in the table, only not bottom due to goal difference, due to scoring, due to not conceding as many as Busselholme. I'm trying to get away from Busselholme as much as I can because I feel awful from what I just said. So Team Dudley there are raring to go. I think looking for that first win of the season. When I say raring to go, you don't have to be winning games to be raring to go. It flips, doesn't it? You can either look at it two ways. One or two ways. The one way, you can sit there and feel sorry for yourself and just expect a beating after a beating after a beating, or you can stand up and be counted for and think, okay, we're going to go for it. Now, they're playing Ulscott Heath. I keep saying Ulscott, it's Ulscott, who really impressed me last week against Old Wolverinians. Absolutely fantastic. Second half just blew them away. So Team Dudley are probably playing them at the wrong time. But you know what? One thing I've learned already this season, there are shocks in these divisions. Having said that, I think Ulscott will win. I think it will be 3-1. I think looking at the games there, conceding 10, it's goals that have been a problem for Team Dudley. They haven't scored many goals. In fact, they've scored 2 all season. Oh, didn't see that. So 3-1. I think Team Dudley will get a goal, but Ulscott, looking on what they played last week, I fully expect them to get the win there. Next up, we've got Tipton Town against Willenhall Town. Now, Tipton Town scored 5 in their last game. They beat Gornal Gornal Colts 3 by 5 goals to 3. Sorry, I need a drink. And I think they'll be wanting to keep that form going. Willenhall, who are 13th, Tipton are 4th. I think Tipton are going to be up for this, and I think they're going to give a good go at Willenhall Town. Willenhall Town this season have only actually, in fact, they've not actually won a game. They've not won a game yet, so they've played 7, they've drawn 3, lost 4. So Willenhall desperate for that first win of the season. Whether or not Tipton are going to be their first victims is yet to be seen. I think Tipton will run out comfortable winners here. I think we're looking at 3 or 4-1. Yeah, I think 3 or 4-1. I think Willenhall will get a goal, but I think Tipton, looking at the form, they're 4th in the table, only lost 2. They've scored 17, conceded 11. So the defence is there to be got at. So I mean, if I was, I really hope you didn't hear that. That was horrible. That was disgusting. I really think that the Willenhall lads, we're looking at the Tipton lads, thinking, yeah, the defence is there to be got at. But let's keep going. Next up, Wellington, massive amateurs. That's what I am, a fucking amateur. Well, the amateurs have got Gornal Colts. Gornal Colts are 6th in the table, played 6, won 3, drawn 1, lost 2, scored 17 goals, conceded 13, so goal difference of 4. Whereas the Ammies, who had such a great season last season, just at the moment struggling to replicate that form now. They've had a couple of games going down to 10 men. That classic game against Droitwich Spa where they were 4-1 down, brought it back to 4-all at 10 men, and then conceded an absolute screamer and lost another guy towards the end. It's they're going to be up for it. Well, I think they want to set a bit of a record straight here and want to get their season going. Aaron Archer, the scariest man in non-league football, and I say that in a nice way. One of the nicest guys out there. Hope you're well, Aaron. Hope you're very well. I did Forza Dudley. I can't say it, mate. I get absolutely ribbed. People think that I've got Dudley under my t-shirt, under my jumper. But yeah, Forza Dudley, get in there. Yes, so where were we? Sorry. So yeah, the Ammies are going to be 1,000,000% wanting to set the record straight, I think, and get that season up and running. Any man who goes against them and doesn't back them is a fool. I think they'll give it a good go, and I think they're going to turn the tide against Gornal Colts. I think they're going to get this win. I think it's going to be a close one though, because Gornal Colts aren't any mugs. I think it's going to be 2-1. I think 2-1 to the Ammies. Come on, the Ammies! Let's get a goal. Let's get a win. Let's go on to Division 2. I need a green screen. Honestly, I've ordered a green screen. I can't wait for this. I mean, I'm not even going to show you what's next to me. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll show you what's next to me. Brilliant. Yeah? That's what I'm having to work with. This is the kind of facilities that your man here, your non-league man, is having to deal with. I need a fucking green screen. This is too much. Let's get on to Division 2 before I get carried away. I've just seen myself putting those shorts up there. Brilliant. What a guy. Okay, so we got the four games this week in the West Midlands Regional Division 2. Looking at, we've got AFC Birmingham. I can't say Birmingham. I only live down the freaking road from it. Birmingham. It's Birmingham. AFC Birmingham are at home to Kidderminster Harriers Academy. Now, I can't talk. The Kidderminster Harriers Academy suffered their first loss of the season last week against top of the table Bilbrook Santos. So it's going to be interesting to see how they pick themselves up from this. Now, AFC Brum have only won one game all season. They've not got a very good goal record, I've got to be honest. They've played 3, scored 5, conceded 14, so not a very good goal difference. However, if they're going to pick a win up, they need to be playing out of their skin against Kidderminster Harriers, because they're going to be well up for it. The kids at the Harriers. I think this is going to be a 3-0 win to Kidderminster Harriers Academy. Go and prove me wrong, AFC Birmingham. Go and prove me wrong and teach me how to say your name, because I love nothing more than seeing teams shut me up. I really do. As Busselholm, I think, probably will after this video is seen. So sorry. Next up, we got Bilbrook Santos against 9 Other Stallions. I tell you what, if it wasn't for me having a tattoo tomorrow, I'd be going to this game, because this is going to be a corker. Bilbrook, who have played 6, won 6, scored 24, conceded 2. Top of the table, great goal difference. Playing 9 Other Stallions, who have played 4, won 3, lost 1, scored 11, conceded 3. I tell you what, this is the game of the weekend for me. I think this is... I think 9 Other Stallions have got a chance of causing an upset here. Played 6, won 6. Do you know what? I don't care. I've not got that much of a reputation to stick on the line, so let's go for it. I think 9 Other Stallions are going to win this. I think they're going to win 2-1. I think they're going to win this 2-1. Again, if you think I'm wrong, tell me to shut up. It's fine. You can do that. That's what we do this for. This is your channel, not mine. This is us having a chat about football. And also, if you can hit a like on the video as well, make sure you get that done, and make sure you're subscribing as well. And then final game of the weekend. This one, again, it's actually got the hallmark to be a classic, because it's 10th versus 11th, so it's the bottom 2 teams playing. It's Cannock United at home to Edgbaston Spartans. This one, how'd you call a game between the bottom 2? How'd you call it? I mean, ideally you want goals, but the reason they're bottom is because there's no goals. So I don't know what to say. I think if we look at goals conceded, Cannock United have conceded 21 goals this season. Edgbaston have conceded 10. Do you know what? Let's go for a boring 0-0. I'm going for that. And I'm not calling the teams boring, but the result 0-0 is boring. I think I'm going to go 0-0. Both desperate for a win. I'd say Cannock United more so to get that goal difference back up. But I'm going to go 0-0. I think 0-0. Again, tell me I'm wrong. But yeah, that's the predictions out of the way. Now, something I wanted to discuss really. Actually, before I carry on, looking at the teams, I mean, look, this is the West Midlands Regional League, weekly roundup. we've got to say a massive good luck to the lads, to the teams that are playing in the FA Vars. You know, we're united in this. We're the West Midlands. We stick together. So to each and every team that's playing in the from the West Midlands this weekend in the FA Vars, go and smash them. Go and smash them and get further into that bloody competition. Honestly, we're all behind you. Every one of us, all 5 of us, 4 of us. I've lost one. But I don't care. We're all behind you. So you know, from me, good luck. I want to see some wins. I want the West Midlands to take over this weekend. We're taking over. You know, bollocks to up north, bollocks to down south. We're the Midlands. We scrap and we get what we want. So go out there and get some victories for us. I sound American. Get some victories. Yeah. Good luck to each and every one of you in the FA Vars this weekend. Now, I just wanted to have a quick chat about the whole COVID situation. By no means, I want to start this off by saying, by no means is this me bashing people who have cancelled games. You know, in the league, that's not what this is about. But the one thing I think needs to happen, we all want the football to be played. I think everybody does. And do you know what? Shawbury United midweek will have been absolutely fuming, I think, to have missed the game, because they're in great form. They're third in the table, you know, only third because they didn't play midweek. But I think there's got to be something done with regards to these games being called off, because the biggest issue, you guys will know this more than I do. You guys have been involved in non-league a lot more than I have. I'm only, you know, not even 18 months in, 14, 15 months in. But we've got winter coming. Winter is coming. And with winter comes one massive problem, and that's games being cancelled. We've got potential to lose a lot of games over Christmas. And also with regards to the lockdowns, I mean, I'm in Telford and we're about to go into tier 2. I actually don't know what that means. I'm going to have to research that. But I don't think this is going away. I actually think we're heading for another lockdown nationally, if I'm honest. I can see it happening. But we need to be getting these games played more, as soon as we can. Now, for me, there's got to be a way around this. You know, I see these teams in all divisions. They've got squads. You've not just got a first 11. You've got squads. Now, surely there must be something that can be done, where if someone's been taken ill, or someone's been told they could potentially have COVID, get them away from the team. Can they not play at a neutral ground? I don't know. Maybe I'm talking pie in the sky, but you know, you look in the, and I'm not saying, I know the Premier League have got much more money. They can afford to do tests willy-nilly. So I'm probably contradicting everything I said, but there's got to be something done before we have this issue where we get to February, March time, if this virus has allowed us to play football for this long. We get to this point where I think we're going to have problems where you're perhaps going to have to play 2 or 3 games a bloody week. And, you know, it's not good for teams like Dudley Town, like OJM, Black Country Rangers, who again aren't playing this week, actually. Let me just have a quick look. No, they're due to play on the 3rd. On the 3rd against Wednesfield. Oh, on the 3rd. I'm going to go watch that. Yeah, I'm going to go watch that. I've said that 3 times. I'm going to go on the 3rd to Wednesfield and watch them against OJM Black Country Rangers. Definitely. See if I can get T-Dog, my Uncle Tony, to come with me. But what I'm alluding to is we need to be careful that we don't get to the end of the season and we've got such a backlog that it makes it impossible to finish the season the way we want it. There's 2 outcomes we don't want. There's loads of outcomes that could happen, but there's 2 major ones that we don't want. One, the season being cancelled and it being done points per game. There's so many issues that come with points per game. I was a fan of it when this season finished, but we don't want that. And 2, we don't want the season cancelled again. So we need to be getting these games in as quick and as fast as we can. Now, again, if I'm speaking out of turn and you know, people involved in clubs who have had to cancel the games think that I'm potentially bashing them, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just merely pointing out that we need to get these games out of the way, because at the moment, you know, you look at teams like, and I mentioned them before, Dudley and OJM, Black Country Rangers, Pershall Town, Bewdley Town, you know, 2 games, 4 games. There's a lot of football they've got to catch up on, especially when you see the likes of Shawbury, who have played 8 games this season. Shawbury are going to be all right when it comes to the cancellations, but I'm talking about the teams below them who aren't. So we need to try and see if there's something we can't do to rectify this. But look, I'm rambling on. I'm moaning. That's not what I want to do. Thanks very much to everyone who's come in tonight and had a look. It's been a good show. I'm out of breath actually. I chased a load of kids. That's right. I'm going to start this by saying they were causing havoc outside the house before I sound like a bloody dodgy bloke. But I chased a load of kids with a shopping trolley before, and yeah, I'm out of breath. And do you know what the worst thing is? And this is the terrifying bit. I chased after these kids. It's like, oi, oi! I chased after them, caught up with them, and they stopped and went, what? And I was like, oh, fuck. What do I say? So I did the obligatory, I'm calling 999, that's it. Hello, Mr. And I thought, you absolute moron, you look a complete jebben. So I got made to look an idiot. I got sat down. But anyway, I won't be going to any games tomorrow. I'd have loved to have gone to a couple of these, especially the Billbrook and Nineveh one. But I'm having my tattoo done on my arm, so it's a birthday present from the wife. And to be fair, if you could see my arm, it's a disgrace, so I need it to get sorted. So I will be missing the games this weekend, but I'll still be doing the results show, getting out to you for Sunday night. I'm looking forward to that. There's some good games happening this week, so I'm really interested to see what the score is going to be between Billbrook and Nineveh. That's going to be a stunner. And also, good luck to the teams across the FA Vars from the Midlands. As I've said, you heard my rallying cry. I hope you can do us proud in the Midlands. Other than that, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. As I've always said, this is for you. This is your channel, and these live shows that we do, they're going to get better. That's one thing I can assure you. I look back at the videos I did when me and Dad started, and I look at them and I cringe. I sit there and I cringe. But the one thing that it does fill me with is hope for the live shows, because they've got better, and I think these will get better too. So just stick with us. We're still learning. I say we, it's just me. I sound like I've got someone, an imaginary friend. Yeah, I have. His name's Daz. We will get better, and we will get stronger with it. This weekend I'm recording another episode for the podcast Tales of a Groundhopper. As always, if you fancy coming on that, send me a message and get involved. It's with a good friend of mine called Paul Coyne, massive fan of Shrewsbury Town, and he's been all over the place with football. In fact, actually, he's the manager of Boar's Head. So when I get him on the podcast, I'm going to ask him one question: why did you only play me against the best fucking teams in the league? I'm not bitter. So other than that, guys, look, thanks very much for stopping by. I love these Friday nights for us to sit here, and I say us to sit here and chat. It's normally me talking at you guys. I'm hoping that we'll get enough people involved soon where we can have a decent conversation. You don't have to listen to me ramble on. Other than that, thanks very much for stopping by. As the normal sign-off says, be thinkers, not stinkers. Sayonara. Au revoir. Bye, 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 bye.